Hey guys, how's it going? It's Miyoko from Japan. Welcome back to my channel. Sorry I am a little late, but I'm here. I am alive from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. How are you guys doing? It's so hot here that I am not in my room. This is our bedroom actually. And yeah, we use futon, so it's not here. You can get rid of your futon after you use it in Japanese style. Hello. Good vibes. Yeah. Hello. Ohio. Ohio. Oh, mandatory carry. Thank you. Keep fighting. Thank you always for your support. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yo, Daio. Didn't Akira predict a global pandemic in 2020 and a cancellation of the 2020 Olympics? Was it about the Olympics? I did watch Akira. It's a movie or something, right? Like I saw the anime before. I don't remember what exactly it was about. Like I remember kind of grossed out in that show. I don't remember well, but you guys let me know. Hi, Yoko. Hi. Oh, here's the answer. Yes. Okay. So it was about the Olympics. Wow. Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. Yeah. That's interesting. But lots of, I watched lots of Netflix shows and they, a lot of them are about like your religious belief, you know, like the world will end and like it's the aftermath of the world since the world ended or something like that. And is it like up something? I forget words. Yep. Hey Yoko, what's the new in the news today? I haven't seen the newspaper yet, but what I know is that already we got some medals already. This one that I saw was this judo player and he won the gold medal. And it's like 60 kilo male. So I don't know how kilograms or like, I don't know how much that is in your scale if you're from America, but 60 kilos. So it's like average guy, right? And you expect that judo players will be so tough and so manly and deep voice, but the guy who won the who won the gold medal is like, oh, his voice is so high, like a high toned, and I was surprised. Like, and he's crying. It's so adorable. Anyway, yep, I was late today. Hello. 39 degrees? Wow, like Celsius. But it's really hot in here too. Like 30, I don't know, like 33 maybe or something. 30 to 35. It doesn't surprise me if it's that hot here. 30 to 35 Celsius in Japan. It doesn't surprises us anymore. I mean, it doesn't surprise us anymore. I'm forgetting English. Yeah, it used to be. It doesn't hit 30 degrees like Celsius usually, but for the past years it has gone crazy. And I don't like to say it's global warming. It's just the climate has been crazy because the Earth is alive and it does the thing, like it goes warm and cold, and sometimes it has this period of like craziness, you know, everything can happen, and we have this period. So like, you know, the Earth is having the time of the month or something. That's how I feel. And yeah, but you know, when it comes to the global warming and all these environmental issues, what I always point out is the problem by China and India, especially China. All these leftists talk about, oh, developed countries have to stop using all this technology and we have to go back to the whatever, like primitive age or something, that they stop us from using cars and whatsoever, or they tell us not to use the electricity or some sort, like they don't like the power plant, especially nuclear power and so on, but they never say a thing about China, and that's my problem. I thought that I could get away with this fan, but no, it's too hot here. Sorry if you're getting the noise, but yeah, Chinese pollution is awful. The pollution is happening even to the places that they are colonizing, like southern Mongolia is one of the worst. I hear that they used to have like green field, lots of plants, little plants, right? And it's so green and beautiful, and Mongolians usually ride on their horses and they move around, right? And but China doesn't do that, and they just go for the resources and everything, and it's messing up the you know messing up the resources and all the cycle and so on. Okay. A lady is always late. I know. I don't know what it is. I think it's about my mentality that like I create this situation that I have to apologize for. I don't know. It's weird. Post apocalyptic. Apocalypse. Yes. American transgender. Yeah. It isn't there supposed to be a transgender in the weightlifting or something? Yeah, we need to check those people. Hey, Yoko, any thoughts on the Tokyo Olympics? Any thoughts? Oh, I have a lot of thoughts on this opening ceremony of the Olympics. Like, I don't know much about sports, but what I could tell was the opening ceremony. I was live streaming, and it lacked in Japanness. The Japanese spirit was not there, and a lot of people were upset because like it did not represent Japan, but it represented political correctness. That's all they did. It's political correctness, diversity, solidarity, like unity. And towards the end, when the torch time came, the last torch runner was Naomi Osaka, who is supporting BLM. She's the last person. Like, she did that lighting part. Like, that's when my husband and I, we lost it. Like, face palm. Like, what's happening, It was awful. It's so awful. I'm still mad at the ceremony, and it like they didn't know what they were doing. They just wanted to show that Japan is hitting, like, we're at the level of the international society. As for diversity and unity and whatsoever, the concept or theme of the opening ceremony was united by emotion. It's not even in Japanese, by the way. And it's so weird. ありがとうございます。英語の放送です。60 kilo is 130 lbs. Yes, it's like average in Japan, or a little small, I guess. Yeah. From Hellenic Greek words for closing the curtain is the end of the word. Interesting. Yeah, small. I guess small. New Zealand. What about New Zealand? What's the general thoughts of the Japanese public on kneeling and transgender in games? Y'all think the West is insane? I don't know. In Japan, generally speaking, we have transgender talent. Like on TV, there are celebrities that are LGBT or transgender. LGBT includes transgender, but yeah, there are LGBT people on TV, and they're very popular. So we don't have an allergic. We don't have any allergic reaction to like LGBT people. But when it comes to marriage, though, we have different opinions, so it's a different story. But in sports, I don't know what people are. I don't know. I don't actually know how people feel generally because it's the first time this time in the Olympics, right? So I think that this is a time that we get to learn what people are thinking. But politically speaking, conservative people, of course, they are against the same sex marriage. So I bet that there are extreme people, like right wing type of people, who oppose to the idea of LGBT to begin with, maybe. Yeah, I don't know though. Like we don't talk about it much at all, which is a problem actually, because the left, even including the leftists or left biased politicians inside of our ruling party, they are pushing this agenda to what it's called in English, like married couples like can have different names, like surname or last name. So now the society here is trying to make things like change the system so that females can use their old name, like their original family name, even after they got married. So like separate last name. So that's been the problem here. And the what's awful about it is that inside of the ruling party, LDP, Liberal Democratic Party, there are politicians that are pushing it. And that for us conservatives, it's like the destruction of families, like family values. So we are opposing to that, but we don't even talk about that. Like Japanese conservative people, what all we talk about is China national security and a bit of the emperor family, and that's about it. That we don't even talk about economy, and we don't talk about this stuff about marriages, same-sex marriage, and the thing about names. We are supposed to talk about it, but as for the name, using different names, or maybe both, like there was a time I hear that like decades ago the discussion was so active, and the discussion ended by conservatives winning, like respecting the family value, but the left hasn't given up and they still are going on for it. Oh, thank you for your super chat. I love anime and real life feet. Cool. Real life feet, as in feet. Interesting. I wanted Yuzuru Hanyu. Yeah, me too. That's what I was saying in the stream. Yuzuru Hanyu is the figure skater. Like he has won gold medals, maybe many times. I don't even know how many times, but he represents Japan very well. He is so proud to be Japanese, and also like he understands where he stands. That he is the representative of Japan. Like he is, representing Japan, and he also treat the national flag very well. And also I believe he is from the area that was hit by the huge earthquake back in 2011, like when the tsunami came, so like the nuclear power plant disaster. So he was from there, and he has this special emotion for Japan, and he always, like, even though he's a young guy, he makes amazing comments as a grown-up Japanese, and we all love him, unlike Naomi Osaka. So yeah, even though he's the skater from, of course, from the Winter Olympics, that would have made sense to people like me, but somehow it's Naomi Osaka who is supposed to be depressed, and she doesn't even want to hold a press conference each time she goes into a game. She has problems, man, and she says that publicly, and somehow she was picked over our famous baseball is it coaches and so on, like Shigeo Nagashima and others. Matsui was a player in America, so maybe you guys know. But even like Naomi's position is even above them. Doesn't make sense. Yoko, what do you know about Dentsu? The New York Times says that it has tied to the LDP and compares it to the CIA. What? I don't know. Like, there are lots of conspiracy theory about Dentsu, but what I know is that Dentsu is the big company, like a advertisement company that does a lot of branding for politicians, and LDP uses them always. What is it about? Like, I've heard about something about Dentsu, but I don't even remember because I don't really care about that side of politics. I don't know. What reminds me? What was it about? Yoko-chan, hello. Hello. Every vault dweller. What is vault dweller? Knows what unity means. Yeah, unity is something that I heard in a Biden speech when he at his inauguration. It's like unity, while BLM people are vandalizing America. Like, I'm like, tell that to those people, and do something about it instead of saying all the superficial words. I really hate that sort of culture, same as our opening ceremony as well, that they talk about all this nice sounding words, but I'm like, so what? Like, do something, And it's not like we're against the world peace. We are all trying to achieve the world peace, but our values are different, and that's when the politicians come in and negotiate and do lots of things together, right? And I don't know, I'm like, oh, do your job. In China, they call crazy white liberal Bai. What? I can't read. Bai Zhao or Bi Zhao? Bai Zhao? I don't know. Interesting. As American empire begins to crumble, the country will begin to turn on its own citizens. Hence, Trump supporters being called domestic terrorists. Yeah, what's up with that? Man, it's so crazy that Donald Trump is excluded from social media. Still, like, I can't, like, how he was supported by half of the nation, and he was, before being the president, he was one of the top celebrities, with lots of Korea. He even had his own TV show and everything, and he, like, people, the left doesn't like him, and then labels him as a dangerous man, and then they just block him everywhere. That's like, doesn't Donald Trump have a human rights? That's crazy. I love Sankei Shimbun. Those guys are so hardcore in hating communism and left-wing politics. I wish more newspapers in America were like them. Yeah, Sankei Shimbun is not completely conservative, but they try their best, and we do like the Shimbun as well. Yeah, American, like I used to think, or I think the majority of Japanese right wings and conservatives believe that our due to our so-called post-war regime after the World War II, we believe that our society is pretty much destroyed, right? Like it's so anti-Japan. Like everything is anti-Japan. You know, the education, the TV, and everything. And we believe that our media is the worst in, in the society, but especially among developed countries. But we came to learn that American media is much worse. And yeah, especially in election, at least in Japan, we treat each candidate equally. So when we broadcast, for example, on TV, when we broadcast each candidate, we give the same amount of time to each candidate, and so forth. And you know, so that's our standard. But America, as for presidential election, America spent so much time on hating Trump and didn't really look at him as a candidate and so forth. And that wouldn't happen here. So it's crazy, man. Final question: what is your favorite anime, if you watch any? I don't actually watch anime. I grew up watching Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z, that, and a bit of Slam Dunk. Yeah, so like basketball. And so those three were the golden times when I was young or little. Yeah, when I was little, like 7 years old or so. So that's something I used to watch. But today, I don't know. Like I do like anime, you know, don't get me wrong. But it's just that I have this weird personality that I like real things. and not just real things. I don't like old TV shows or movies usually. Like if I watch them, I like them, but somehow I go to the latest real ones for some reason. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I like, when it comes to anime, I like the kinds with like beautiful or graphic instead of like cute looking ones, you know. I don't know. Something's wrong with me. But thank you for your question. Man, the number of viewers today is so low. Maybe because the title was not good. It's not even a title. It's just hashtags. But well, let's go to super chat first. Marshall, thank you for your super chat. Have you ever watched Lauren Chen's channel? She's a very popular conservative political YouTuber. Lauren Chen. Maybe somebody recommended me. I don't remember. I don't think I've seen her. Is she from Canada? Or is it? She's a YouTuber? Is this the woman? I wonder. I'll check her out. I like beautiful women. Interesting. Thank you. And let's go to another super chat before I forget. Thank you, Eric, for super chat. Thank you always for your support. Hello. please let your husband know that I appreciated his very thoughtful reply regarding South Korean leadership out to dinner. So this will be my only question for tonight. Have a great day. Thank you. Yeah, my husband would love to answer any question. He is he's my political mentor and teacher. And I don't know much about politics actually, but my husband is there as my brain, and also he does all this. He's been doing this all these political activities since he was a teenager. During he was in university, and he's been doing these activities for over 2 decades, almost like 25 years now. He's old. So yeah, but thank you. I hope that you get to eat good foods tonight. Thank you. Okay, let's go back a little bit. Hmm? That sucks. I think we should use the same surname. It also avoids confusion between family connections. Yeah. How is fatherlessness in Japan? They celebrate single mothers here. Fathers are thrown away. Yeah, I know exactly how that is. It's the same here, actually. And even among the people that I know in person, there are lots of divorced people. And what's interesting about divorced people is that those divorced couples or divorced people, they get married again. The tendency is like, I think I even see the statistics that they just get married again, and single people stay single all their life and they don't even try. And I think that it's about their personality and also the economic background. So that's very interesting. But anyway, so yeah, but as for the different names inside of the family, it's really a problem. It's again the destruction of families and family values. And yeah, it's individualism, of course, is pushed by the left here in Japan as well. And there are lots of single mothers now. Like, it's, but what's good about it is that it's more like common now. I don't know what to think about it, but at least mother, like, you know, people don't suffer anymore complaining against men. So it's maybe it's good that they get to divorce easier, more easier than before. I don't know, but um, yeah, it's crazy that like I'm like, why do you have to get married if you don't want to become one? You know, so that's what I don't get. But left creates all this crazy narrative to beautify what they're doing. I think so. Yeah, the lack of father figures is really bad. I don't understand how like men can actually um stand in this modern era now. Like they're discriminated. You know, males are discriminated in my eyes. It's really awful. And yeah, and the guys here, as you know, they are so guys here are mostly, especially in not in rural area or countryside, but in the urban cities, young guys or men are like not manly, you know, and they are happy with themselves and they are so selfish now, and they do like girls and they like to go on a date and so on. But I guess that with the help of the growth in our like food industry, for example, if you go to grocery stores here, there are pre-made foods, you know, that you can just buy and eat like a lunchbox. And so the single men don't have to cook, like they don't need women to cook for them anymore. They can just buy, and it's easier for them, you know. But it's not like they don't want to get married and so forth. But I'm talking about different things all at the same time, so it's my reaction is not good. But man, I don't know how, I don't know why this is like allowed. Lots of things to think about when it comes to all this family thing. Hey Yoko, what Western American song have you heard? Check out New Sensation by L Inks or 1980 song. Huh. New Sensation. Okay. New Sensation. I I'll, I'll make sure to check that out. I usually do listen to American songs. Like I only listen to American music only. Mostly, maybe a bit of European metal bands or metal music. But I don't know, man. I have this weird obsession with American English. I just want to listen to that all the time, whatever it is, whether whether it's spoken version or sung version. I don't care what it is. I want to be listening to American English. No wonder I used to date American guys back in the day. Most of my boyfriends that I had in my life are Americans, you know. So crazy. Hi, Yoko. Hi. I wonder if people are watching the Olympics. Do you guys watch the Olympics? Like Olympic Games, or I don't know, like you, like conservative people, like they have tweeted at me and said that they're angry with they're angry with American uh Olympians. They don't support the political thoughts of them, and they like, yeah, how they said it was that the USA team is embarrassing America, so that's why they're not watching and some sort. And that's what I hear. So I wonder how you guys are. What would you propose policy wise to help workers in Japan with overworking health problems, and helping improve birth rates, raising families? First, to start off, we need to make the economy, like we have to boost the economy. We've been in recession for decades now, so like it was getting better during Abe administration, and they could have completely fixed it, but they didn't because they raised the consumption tax twice. So first, I think that we need to get rid of all the things that we did in the wrong way. And the consumption tax, I uh, I think that removing that would be like unrealistic. So at least right now it's 10%, so we need to bring down at least to 5% or so. We were back in the day it was only 3, and then way back in time we didn't even have the consumption tax. So that's something that that I don't know, that's something that comes to my mind, and that would dramatically change the economy. So then I think we could think of something else. But as for raising families or the birth rate, I think this is already put in force, but we should give money to newborn babies and so on that want each birth they get citizens get it's like a reward, rewarded with some money to help out, and that would be nice. Like it's yeah, it's all about economy. So, and overworking health problems, I think it's gonna get better a little bit by the development of technology. Once AI is more common in our society, things will, like, we won't have to work much anymore. That creates another problem though, because there won't be as many jobs. So I don't know if it's a good thing, but as for health problems, it'll be better. I think that, like, we now can say like, oh, you can go home. So that's what I think. Is the wind too heavy? This is like right in front of me there's this huge window. So anyway, have you seen Elon Musk video on population implosion of developed countries? No. Pretty much every developed countries have more death than births. What? Interesting. I've never thought of that. Like we we always talk about, those who are here today, like the population of today and the number of birth. So that's what I see always. But interesting. For like developed countries, we are so unhealthy, don't you think? So like our system, especially on the free world side, it's so, I don't know what we are doing. Everything is in a bad circulation. But speaking of Elon Musk, I saw it's another company, I believe, but it was Blue something. I saw the rocket. Is it a rocket? Like a launch of the rocket or whatever. They traveled in space for a bit of time. And I saw the press conference a little bit, like those who flew. And I'm like, wow, America. Man, that's amazing. Japan should do that sort of things as well, but we are so behind. Our power as a nation is decreasing so much. I mean, it's swollen by China, so it's, I don't know, man. Japan is no longer Japan, I feel. Like we had technology and we have anime and video games, but now like America and China are doing well in those industries as well. And we are not, Japanese people used to be very creative, but we are not. And there is no hunger anymore. Hunger, man. Hunger is important in life. And I think that we are so peaceful and happy that we forget to compete. So I'm thankful though that as for the Olympics, there are lots of players that want to be the top of the world, and they do enjoy what they're doing, and those people are very, very precious. I wish that people are like that in different areas of the society as well. Hideki Matsui was at the opening ceremony. He's loved in New York City and Japan. Yeah, yes, yes, yes. He is. Hey, Yoko, have you heard about the Delta variant of the coronavirus and the monkeypox scare yet? Has Japan lowered masks, or has the Delta variant not really had an effect? What is that? Delta something? A Delta kabu? Oh, you mean you're talking about the kind of the virus? In Japan, we just have ups and downs all the time. I'm not actually looking into the kinds much. The number of the cases in Tokyo, for example, now is 1,000 something. I think it rises and then it goes down, and it's just so repetitive. So I don't know what to think of that. But at the same time, the vaccination has been going on, and many people are getting vaccinated. Both of our parents, like my husband and I, both of our parents got vaccinated, and people around me are like our elderly friends are getting vaccinated. So I don't know, but if you look at the UK though, like they are supposed to be ahead in the vaccination, and they're celebrating the, like they can now go out and hang out and so on, they think, but the number of infection cases is rising as far as I know. And so, man, people need to realize how vaccination works. Did you hear about China threatening to nuke Japan for sticking up for Taiwan? Seems war is getting pretty close. No, it's just China talking. What they've been doing is, you know, the realistic thing that they would do is to CCP conquering a few islands of Taiwan. That could be the first step, and the second would be Taiwan. Right, the Taiwan would be the target. And if they do come to Japan, it's the Senkaku Islands. They've been coming in every day. I don't know about recently though, because now during the Olympics you're not supposed to do any like military actions, So I wonder how they're doing. Like, are they being a good boy? I don't know. But so Senkaku Islands are the ones that we are, paying attention to. But at least though, until next year, I think that we have a bit of time. As for Japan, because Beijing Olympics awaits. Beijing 2022. So it starts on February 4th next year. So we don't actually have much time, but if China goes out of hand before the Beijing Olympics, then the international society, who are especially developed countries that are powerful in on the Olympics, we will exclude China, right? Like we will cancel the Beijing Olympics, or relocate the Olympics and so forth. And China doesn't want that. They want to have the Olympics and become let Beijing be the first city in the world to hold both summer and winter Olympics and so forth. And just Olympics, hosting the Olympics in general, it gives a good image to the public in and outside of China. So that's something that they will do. They will try so hard to protect, right? So I don't think that China would go crazy before that, but once, like after that, I believe that Xi Jinping's re-election, so-called re-election, it's not really an election, but it's coming. So yeah, it's next year, right? So he will try to show his legacy as a leader. So that's what that would be when I would be concerned about. And as for war, I don't know if it would be a war. A war would happen between like militaries, or one country standing up to another. But our country doesn't fight anymore. Like China has been coming into our territorial waters and also in the air all the time, like every day. But our country does nothing. I mean, our self-defense force, and also it's called like coast guards, they have been protecting the areas. But as a government, our government only shows the anger, in wars, and they don't do anything about it. So I think that we will just get conquered and then complain, and then just get colonized. That's the scenario that I'm seeing. And we, as conservatives, we are, of course, worried about it. And so we are trying to prepare for all kinds of scenarios. But, man, conservatives have problems too, that we are always infighting and so on. So Yep. Why liberals are known in China as Baizuo. Baizuo. The characters, the Chinese characters, I mean, the kanji is so wide left. Literally. That's funny. Baizuo. I remember that. Were there a lot of deaths in landslide in Japan earlier this month? I wonder what happened to that afterwards. I was checking that. Atami, right? Atami. 土砂災害. Let me look it up. Like the media stopped talking about it now. How many people got affected? I wonder. It's like I can only see the news from 3 weeks ago. It's like two people died, and 10 people rescued. 20 are still missing. It's from 3 weeks ago, so I don't know. Yeah, that's the problem of the media. They jump on like controversial or scandalous things, or this disaster type of things. But once it once they featured a little bit, then they go on to the next thing. Hmm, that's not good. Let's see. Oh, I need to go in 15 minutes. Mhm. Fallout reference, it's a call out to fellow gamers. Huh. Interesting. I think the American media is by far way worse than the States in my what? Uh yeah, American media is worse, definitely. And I'm reading the comments from like 25 minutes ago. Let me go faster. I'm gonna skip a bit. Biden number one, he's breaking all records, most illegal immigration, most inflation, most corruption, most votes ever. Yeah, most votes ever. Crazy, crazy results. Yeah, but I wonder why Biden couldn't make it to the Olympics. Uh, your first lady, Jill Biden, is here for him, like representing America. But where is Joe Biden? What is he doing? Is he in America? Is he in a bad condition? Or is he dealing with something serious inside of America? Like, what's going on? I thought that Japan and the US, our alliance was so tight. At least Jill came though, so that's good. And I am grateful for that. But is there a Japanese Jordan Peterson? Hmm. There are lots of speaker opinion leaders and speakers and commentators, or even journalists, or people with some kind of degree like doctors and so on. But the problem that I see in Japan is that, as I've said before, we have our culture is non-verbal, and even though we do have discussions and debates, like I speak both languages, right? Like Japanese and English, and I see this dramatic difference between like Japanese speaking people and English speaking people. That English is more like better for discussions, and you guys have the culture and also like background of training and so on since you are little. But Japanese people are not. We never get trained as a like debater and so on. We don't have debates in class. So of course professional people talk, but it's just presentation after presentation, and it's not like a discussion to my eyes. And no, I don't know, man. So our level is just low. Like I really feel almost embarrassed that our top people are not at the equal level of, for example, America. You know, hmm. Like it's so weird. Hmm. Like as for politics, I wonder who I like even. I used to like many opinion leaders, but now I learn because I am engaged in political activities, and we, as a couple, married couple, my husband and I, w- we have been doing lots of things together, and we have all these connections to National Diet members and media people and also company CEOs and so on. We know many people, and we what that means is that we can get direct information. Like we have lots of sources, right? So we have lots of information, and we see all this public opinion leaders and so forth on TV or just on newspaper and so on. And those, unless they are experts, like unless they are experts, the opinion leaders are just imagining things, and they're just making things up in their head. That's just they're not even experts, and they're just collecting information from what they can see from the media, and they don't even have their their original source and so on. So what happens is that what they're saying doesn't even make sense or can be wrong many times. And so that's why I don't see many like good experts and so on. Even those who self-claim experts are not experts. And yeah, so it gets really annoying. It gets frustrating. But oh, typhoon possibly nearing. Yes, 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 yes. The typhoon. What happened to the typhoon? It might. I had heard that this I don't know why it's called, but this might become the typhoon, a typhoon. Oh, it's now a typhoon. Oh shoot! Wait. Oh shoot! Can I show you guys this? Want to show you? Share screen. Can you see? That's the course. Oh my gosh, this this is new. So oh no, this is Japan, and it's hitting right in Tokyo. Tokyo is here. Oh no, on the 27th. I hope that it's not so strong. Man, that's awful. Why does it have to happen? Like I wish that we would some conspiracy theorists say that there are weapons to weapon like a climate weapons. That's direct translation. I don't know why it's called in English, but to change the weather to weaponize that. And conspiracy theorists believe in weapons like that, and part of me now wishes that we had one so that we could do something about it. I was watching Heroes Reborn. Do you know the show Heroes? There's this new version from 2015, I think. Heroes Reborn, and I just finished the season. And in that show, the girl does this like and then there comes this darkness, and also flare from the sun, and she is fighting against that by her own. I mean, there's a twist to that later, but yeah, it's crazy. But we need we need something like that. Oh man. Okay. Oh, I need to go in 7 minutes. The world is set up to divide people. Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm reading from a long time ago now. Then God, we have you, Yoko. Thank you for your understanding. Thank you. Thank you for always coming and supporting. I like Japanese music and classical. That's awesome. Yeah. I like Japanese music when it comes to like our traditional style. And only because that's our traditional music is something that goes well with our language. But the modern like pop and rock and that sort of things, if you sing that in Japanese, I just feel this weird, weird thing that I'm a musician at heart. So I just don't think that Japanese language is supposed to be sung in the way and so forth. And I started thinking about all this weird analysis. So I stay away. But I'm so glad that there are people like you guys that enjoy our culture. The rich and elites always get richer, and their greed knows no bounds. Yeah. Man, I wish I could experience what it's like to be rich, like super rich. And rich people exist in Japan as well, but the level is so much different from the rich people in America. American rich people are just so rich that you have no idea. Like, I have no idea how their life is, like everyday life. I bet that they have a hard time too, though, like socializing and everything is politics probably. Like it's like so political and business. Like everything is so connected to their life. So it would be like something that you would feel tensed from and so on. And also, what I notice about rich people, though, I do, as I said, I do interact with National Guard members and all this like high position people. And what happens is that the restaurants and so on that we go to for a meeting and so on, it's so fancy, right? It's so rich people place. And I'm like, I used to, at the beginning of my this political journey, I used to get overwhelmed by like these fancy restaurants or expensive dishes and so on. But now I'm used to it, so I'm okay. But what I'm trying to say is that thus it's like if you get richer here in Japan, the bottom line of your expenditure, like your expense, also gets boosted. So like you have to pay more. If you earn more, you have to pay more to meet the standards. So it's like you just you earn more, but you spend more. So it doesn't really make much difference. That's the impression that I have, or at least I thought it's interesting. So that's something I learned in my life. You have no patience for Olympics. Interesting. YouTube heavily censors super chats. What? Also comments too. I get comments deleted all the time and I have to use reworded coded language. Wow. Yeah. I wish that there would be an alternative to YouTube, man. I've been on YouTube from 2006, by the way. Not this account, but my first account was Yoko Japan. And I was posting music. It's back then people didn't have digital camera even. Of course, the phones were not smartphones back in the day. And I did have a digital camera, so I would record myself using that. And the quality is so bad looking back. So interesting. No, I have no time to watch the Olympics. Oh no, we are being invaded and put in jails. The FBI is coming after us. What? What? That sounds like a movie. I wish I could just come to Japan to see Olympics live. Oh yeah, it'll be fun. My husband is watching the Olympics as we speak. Yeah. Like people talk a lot of things about the Olympics, but once you actually see, it's actually fun. That's how I think. But I don't watch sports though to begin with. I like to play sports, but I'm not much of a watcher or a viewer. But as for Olympics, I kind of watch because they are representing my country and I want to see how they do, and I often get grateful for those who are representing our country because our country is a mess, our power, as I said, our hard power, like military and so forth, is so declining, and our governing power, they're not doing a good job. But as for soft power, like all this Olympic players and so on, these athletes, they are bringing up the reputation of Japan. And that's so something that I am grateful for. Yeah. Oh, that's a good point. Olympics is great, but TV coverage is bad. Networks fight over who can show events. It should be free to all. Yeah. You know what happened to our public network NHK? They have the rights to broadcast the Olympics. Well, other I don't know about the games, but at least for the opening ceremony, NHK had that, and I was expecting that in this age, they would live stream that online, but they did, but it's a paid service. Like why? Like you can watch it free on TV, but you have to pay for online content. So crazy, man. And NBC, by the way, oh, I had to talk about it. Oh, it's been an hour, I must go. But when it comes to NBC, NBC, I didn't watch NBC, but I heard, and also it's been controversial in Japan that when they showed, of course, the athletes had a march, right? Like each country entered, and they are like, hey, right, with the flag and everything. And when was it? I don't know when was it for when China was Taiwan was missing from the map, and also yeah, it was probably the China when China came, and Taiwan was missing, and also the Tibet, the shape of Tibet in the map was different and so forth. I didn't see it by myself. I just read the title of like what people are talking about. So you guys should check it out for me if you can. But yeah, so that kind of mistake can happen, and and there's something vice versa that happened in Japan, that in Japan when Taiwan came, our this female that was speaking on TV, she called Taiwan is instead of Chinese Taipei, which is the official name of Taiwan in the Olympics. So like Japanese people were like, at least for conservatives, we were like, oh, she called Taiwan on NHK, and we were like, wow, we were surprised. But yeah, but it's something that just happened naturally, and I don't think that the person didn't even think about political aspect, but yeah, things like that happen, so that's pretty interesting. Oh man, I have to go, but do I see super chat? Oh, BBDC, thank you for your super chat. Hi, it's Yoko time, and your hair is up. Yes, I have an important question. What is your favorite ice cream flavor, and do you prefer chocolate or rainbow sprinkles? Oh, my favorite kind of be. That is such a tough question. I don't know. My mind is telling me chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. I like chocolate flavor. Now that I said it out loud, I wanna. I'm tasting it in my mouth. Saliva comes in. Yeah, chocolate. I think chocolate, just simply chocolate flavor. Yeah. There was a time I liked minty stuff, but I just like, and it's not vanilla. Vanilla is good, but something I don't know. I wouldn't pay to to eat eat vanilla. Vanilla is something that just is there. Like you don't have to pay for that. In my opinion, I don't know. Good ones are really good, but yeah, I think chocolate and rainbow sprinkles. I've never even heard of that in Japan. I think American people like to color everything, so everything is colorful in America. The sense of color is different in each country, right? But American color sense is so interesting to me in Japan. Like Japanese people, like if you can't see the background, like this room, like we are like very nature and natural. But Americans are different, in my opinion. But anyway, is it a thing? Like rainbow sprinkles? Sounds like sounds magical. Oh, rainbow sprinkles taste vanilla. What? Japanese guy winning. Yeah, my husband is like, when my husband watches TV, whether it's just regular small or like the Olympics, he gets so into the game that he's like, when the athletes are having a hard time, like, and then my husband goes, oh, I'm like, dude, you're not him, But my husband is so such an empath, I would say. Okay. Oh, you guys like the rainbow sprinkles. Interesting. Anyway, I need to go, yo. The name of this typhoon is Naomi. That's funny. That's actually very, very funny. Okay. God really doesn't want these Olympics to happen. Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe if God has the intention, some kind of intention, then that will be like, oh, people don't gather, stay at home and watch it at home instead of gathering together and infecting each other and so on. That might be it. Because for Japan, we need the Olympics. Man, probably a CCP typhoon. I actually thought about it. Like, it came to my mind when I saw the news. Yep. Okay. Oh yeah, weather weapons. Okay. Why repeat what conspiracy theorists say? It's important, because I think that the majority of people are like influenced or deceived by conspiracy theory. And as I said about our opinion leaders, like the presidential election in America was the worst in our history. I feel that people believe in conspiracy theory like so easily because that's like there's the conclusion of the bad guy and how it happened and everything is so clear that people get deceived very, very easily. And because people don't have information source, they just fall into that, and that's something that like it's so stupid, I know, but we need to know how people think. And so yeah. Okay, I need to go now. So okay. Ice cream and sherbet. What is that? Shabeto? Okay, anyway, I need to go now. So thank you guys for coming out. People are not interested in all the Olympics. That's kind of sad, but I mean, I don't watch sports, but American athletes offended. Next streamer, China will spy on you in the shower. Oh yeah, like the stream, yeah. Okay, man, your comments are all interesting, so I just find myself scrolling down to read. But yeah, you can be my Yoko Ono. Thank you. Oh, you can hear him. He's so into it, man. Somebody help. He's so loud. Anyway, thank you. I'm gonna go now. So you guys have a good night. Okay. Yeah, if there's anything, just talk to me on Twitter at random Yoko. Okay. I'm gonna go now. So thank you all for coming and also all for your comments. Sorry if I didn't take up your comments. He's like, Yosha. So Japanese. Yeah. But yeah. Let's let's reunite in a week, okay? Sunday and sometimes so not Sunday, for Saturday. For some yeah, Saturday sometime. I'm always late, so okay. Thank you guys for coming and I will talk to you soon. Where's the outro? Let's cue the outro. Okay. Bye.